We're live. Hey. Hi, KT.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well. Excited about this new pack.
Me too. Me too. And you know what? I have to say, I know we were supposed to wait until 5:30 to watch the live stream, but I cheated and I watched it or watched the brief live stream, let's just say. And I feel bad for them. I mean, it was beyond their control. I believe that they lost power in the building or something to that effect.
Yeah,
But
that's what they said.
I saw the chat going crazy, saying, "What's going on here?" Blah, blah, blah. You know, they're freaking out.
Oh,
And it was
it doesn't take much. I love
but
you, Simmers. It doesn't take much.
no, no. When simmers get riled, they get riled. So guys, take it down a notch.
Deep breaths.
Breathe in
Woo.
through your nose, out through your mouth. Yes. Relax. There are more important things to get upset about.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
but for the first 10 minutes that the stream was on, they brought up a lot of great points. And we were talking about this off camera before. The fact that they said that in the new businesses and hobbies pack, you can have up to 2 million combinations about what you want to create as a business. That's phenomenal.
That's crazy.
It is. It is. It totally is. But the other thing I'm thinking about now, playing a little bit of devil's advocate because I want to try to
Okay.
balance it.
Okay.
Is that too risky for them to do? Is that a
Possibly.
possible issue like with For Rent happening where For Rent just says no and doesn't do what it's supposed to do? But
It's a possibility.
it is. It is. But we've seen some early access today. Well, a lot of people in the EA Creator Network has released early access showing gameplay and such. And we've seen a lot of different, really great ideas come forth. You were saying you were watching Ocean?
I was watching Ocean Sims, who didn't go traditional. She started her own business that's not like in the trailer, and she started a daycare, and it was
That's a
working
big one.
wonderfully. Yeah.
That's a big one with the community, being able to start daycares.
Yeah.
The one I want to see people do are hotels. The one I want
That
to
would
try to
be
do is a
cool.
hotel.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I want to be watching and waiting.
Yes, I'm definitely going to try it. I'm definitely going to try it. But I think the first business I'm going to do is the jewelry shop because I think I want to do another Hayden and Rowan series.
Yeah.
So I
So
want to
you're
do,
combining with Crystal Creations
Mhm. And I'd
to
like
get
to,
a jewelry shop.
yeah, and I'd like to see, how that works with an at-home business where she could be at home and then have her business there too.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great.
And also I get the opportunity to play with the new pack at the same time. So I'm doing it, having work and I'm also having fun at the same time, which would be
Two
great.
thumbs up.
Yes, yes. And it releases on March the 6th for everyone else who doesn't have early access like us. And I'm going to be one of those who grabs the pack. I'm really excited about what you're able to do, how you're able to do it. Basically, I think it's whatever you can dream up and whatever pack you have, you could make a business out of it, basically.
I think you're right, and I wanna test it because I think the 6th is a Thursday. I'm gonna be going live that night with one of my Sims, my favorite
Oh,
redhead. Yeah, my
uh-huh.
favorite redhead
Ember.
Ember.
Mm-hmm.
She's coming back. The last you saw her, she was getting divorced, and her and Sammy were sitting in the house together, and they still
Yeah,
are.
that's
So I
right.
want her to get the baby, move out, and, maybe move to North Haven, and I don't
Oh,
know if I can start any kind of business with the romance. She was a romance consultant, so I
okay.
want her to retire.
Okay.
I'm looking to see what we can start, if we can start anything with that. If not, I'm going to be thinking of something really creative for her to do with her unique skill set.
All right. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see that live next week. I'll certainly be in the chat. watching. That seems like a lot of fun. And
Thank you.
one thing I really liked, I want to talk about the update this week.
Okay.
Burglars
What's
are
good?
back. Burglars are back. Let me just throw this on the screen for a second. Took 10 years to get them here, but
Mhm.
they're here.
They are
And
here.
yeah, let's have a conversation about this real quick. I think that this, well, first of all, this is a highly anticipated feature that people have wanted forever.
Yes, that's true.
And now we've got them back.
Yeah.
And not only that, I think that these are some of the best burglars I've seen in any of the iterations of the Sims games.
They'll steal your whole house. They'll steal
Yeah.
they'll steal your bed, but you did something on your video,
Yes, I
and you
did.
did the upgrade to electrocute the burglar,
Yes,
like
I
she
did.
said right there. And that burglar came in and it was like zzz, zzz. She
Yes,
could not get
I
out quick
did.
enough. But what I really like, Jen, is that even if the burglar's name is the same, the burglar looks different in every person's save file. She's
Yes.
different. Yeah.
Yes, she can be. Yes. I had Robin show up on mine,
Yeah. I
but
think they may all be named Robin. I'm not sure.
they're all named Robin Banks and they look differently.
Yeah, I know mine that showed up's name was Robin Banks, and she looked completely different from yours that showed up. And I watched two other simmers, and theirs name was Robin Banks, and she looked different than both of ours, both times. I
Ah,
don't know if it can be a different
interesting.
name, but definitely they do have the same name, and they look different.
But that name alone is brilliant. That came up with Robin
It's
Banks. That is
really
that is
is.
brilliant on the Sims team's part. I think that's phenomenal. And I've had so much fun playing with this, triggering the burgle events. It's kept me on my toes a couple of times.
I
They
bet.
came in, like you said, they'll steal your whole house. But
Yeah.
my favorite thing is shocking them. Yes.
The shocking was crazy. The animation was crazy. Now I was
It
watching Dr.
is.
Gluon and the on Dr. Gluon, the burglar stole his bed, the refrigerator, I think, the microwave for sure. I was like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be nothing left in this house.
It sounds like it. I mean, this burglar means business.
Yeah, but one thing I haven't seen is the police actually catch the burglar. Have you had that happen?
No, not yet. Not yet. But I've
I-
seen it on a couple of videos. There's one video I think they're called City Sims. And there's a
okay,
couple of others that also do the same thing, similar thing. But basically what they'll do is they'll take Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4 and show
right.
burglars from Sims 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Side by side, got
Right.
you.
Right. Sometimes they'll do a side by side comparison, but they'll just concentrate on the one and show you all the
Got
features
you.
from the one and
Jump to the
they
next. That's
really
cool.
they went extensive on that and they showed all the different ways that you can interact with the burglar. And what I also
Yeah.
like is if you have occults, the occults have interesting ways of dealing with the burglar too.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I don't have many occults, so other than like a spellcaster, I don't have many occults.
Well, there you go.
That's
Spellcasters can
crazy.
cast spells on them, and you have the scientists
Cool.
from Get to Work. They can shoot them with the freeze ray, and
That'll be fun.
yep, yes,
I did like the animation. I like that the officer shows up as soon as you can call them, or if you set your alarm to call them.
yes,
And I like the officer is actually a different sim with a different name from the town. Because
yes.
my officer, Thomas Watson, showed up, and I'm like, honey, what are you doing here from Hemford on Bagley? Because you certainly are not catching criminals. And he did not catch the criminal. I'm like, go back over there and sell your farming goods, honey.
I think
But
the game just says, okay, well, you're not playing with this person, so we're going to make them the cop. And
that's
that's the
what it
cop
does.
that's going to come to the door.
Cause I saw on somebody's Marcus Flex, I'm like, "Oh, you left the gym." I was like, "Damn, this could work." Cause he left the gym. Maybe he could handle that robber. I don't know, but he didn't catch the robber either. So, but I really
Marcus Flex as the
enjoyed.
cop. That's funny.
Yes, he came as the cop. I said, "Oh my gosh, they're just reaching." But but I've been enjoying this like I'm saying Blast from the Past. That's the event name, but I mean in
Right.
general how they are going back to the nostalgia of the Sims 1 and Sims 2 and
Yes.
pulling those features. I mean, I even got my shirt on as the old
Hey,
school computer
there you
with
go.
but
Representing.
represent today. But yeah, I like this whole going back the pop-up cake because I did that
Oh, yeah.
dance that the Sims do where they're turning
Yes.
go down the stair. I'm like, yes, and you can eat the cake and they dance out of the cake. Wonderful. And it doesn't even be a
Yes.
birthday to pop out the cake and dance.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. I think I have footage right here I can show from, this is outtake footage, of course, from Hayden and Rowan. Let me see if I
Right.
can find it real quick. I think it looks like a
The
fire.
animation is beautiful. And I like that you can use the cake to age up. You could blow out candles to age up, or you can just select surprise and the sun will just pop out and surprise whoever is walking by. So that's cool because I actually set my cake outside. The cake is quite large. I think, is it a 4 tile or a 6? It might be a 4 tile cake. Pretty large
I
cake.
I'm seeing 3 in the
3.
footage.
Yeah,
3,
I
yeah.
set it outside, and if you're in a nice populated area, you can just surprise random Sims walking by. Oh, look at it.
Let me just flip
Yeah,
it over here.
I like the swatches on the cake too.
Okay, here we
And you
go.
got the blow up furniture and everything from the event. I love that blow up furniture. I've been putting it in my kids' rooms.
Here she goes. She's gonna go into the cake.
There she goes. And then it's really cool how they did that. I'm loving the telephones, everything. The alarm clock has been a favorite.
Yeah, I like the alarm clock too. Here we go.
It's the dance.
That dance is
And the
so
gallop
funny.
down the stairs. Like, oh
Yes.
my gosh. And you can eat
Yes.
the cake. It's just cool.
Yes.
It's I haven't seen that in so many years, and to see it back, the blow up furniture I've been putting in my kids' rooms, the like I said, the alarm clock is like in all my Sims houses because when I used to play the old Sims, I always had the alarm clock to wake them up for work and stuff.
Yeah,
So
the old-fashioned alarm clock.
yeah, I like that the alarm clock is functional. So yeah.
I only wish the phone was functional. That would
Me
have been
too.
great. If they had done that for the phones, I would have loved that. But modders have made it possible so that you can do that,
Wow.
which is terrific. But
I'm not
again,
surprised.
that's something I was like, guys, you missed on that. Unless
Yeah,
who knows, maybe they didn't know. Or they were
I
thinking,
don't
just
know.
saying, well, maybe this could just be decorative. But in my opinion, they missed on that one.
Maybe, and then I guess if you making it, I guess they have to figure like the animation. I guess just even walk over to the phone and pick it up because they got phone animations, but for like the wall phone or the one sitting on the counter, I can especially see the one like the table phone, the rotary phone, because you have to
Yeah.
have them pick it up differently, I would think. But yeah,
Yes.
it's the nostalgia, this whole 25-year celebration really brings back those old memories of being up late
It
Still in
sure
time
does.
playing The Sims.
It sure does. Absolutely. Up to 3 o'clock in the morning playing it, or, looking at your little
Yeah.
watch and saying, when do I have to go to work again? Right?
Right,
But
like
yeah, it's bringing back all the feels from that time. And I love it. I think they did it a really great way. They
Mhm.
really, yeah, they had the issues with the legacy pack, as we know. When they launched the legacy combo, Sims 1, Sims 2, there were some issues with that.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, to their credit, they did come through. They did fix those issues, and those have been released in a patch recently. So now, from what I
Okay.
understand, they're working really well, and there isn't the issues that they've been having. Personally, I'm that's one of the reasons why I held off on it, because I was like, yeah, I'm not so sure I want to
Let's
get
let
this
them
right.
get the
Yeah,
patches out first.
exactly. Exactly. And if anything, I'll just get Sims 1 because I already have the Ultimate Collection. I got that years
Yeah.
ago. And having Sims 1, without having to put the disc in, I was talking to Sims for Seniors today about that. You know,
Okay.
it's one less step you have to do. It's more of a,
Absolutely.
yeah. And
Yeah,
also it's
absolutely.
disc break over time as such. And I just think that having the DLC would be a little bit better. Plus,
Yeah.
I think they also put some hidden surprises in the Legacy Edition, from what I understand. I'm not sure exactly as to what they are, but
Oh,
yeah, some interesting
I don't
things.
know. I haven't gotten either one yet, and it's funny playing from The Sims 1. If I got one, it would probably be 1 because I don't have 1 or 2 anymore. I got rid of all my disc at some point during some move, but years ago. But if I did, it would be 1, just because it was super fun. I tell anybody I played Sims 2 when it came out because that's what was out, and I love The Sims. But The Sims 2 was stressful to me. Sims 1 was hard too. Sims 1 was hard
Oh
as well.
yeah, the
Sims 2 was hard.
Sims one, that screaming baby would give me a headache. I'm not
Oh,
lying. That
it
screaming
would.
baby would give me a headache from that
And
noise alone.
your knees in Sims 1. Oh, you were never okay.
Right? No, no, you had to be on top of that game. And if you
Yeah.
weren't for whatever reason,
End
you
of
had
game
consequences.
over.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if
Your
you used
whole
a certain
family.
cheat, like, I don't know, Rosebud, um, you didn't have to worry about money that much.
But you know what? When I was playing back in the day, I didn't know about cheats. I didn't know what they
Right.
were, how to do 'em. I didn't know about custom content. Like I just knew to play the game. So, oh my gosh. And it's funny because there are some truths, like I know that Sims 2, the animations were way more detailed than Sims 4.
Yeah.
There are definitely things, there were definitely things you could do. You talked about recliners. There were definitely things
Yeah.
that you could do that you can't do in Sims 4, but some people you can tell who really played the game and who just repeat what people say because I don't
Mhm.
romanticize it. It was fun. It had animations that Sims 4 doesn't, but it was hard. It was stressing me out sometimes.
It was hard. It was. It was hard.
It
Sims
was
2
fun,
especially,
but it was
yeah,
hard.
and Sims 2, some of the things that they did in that game, it was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, I thought it was harder than 1 to me, Sims 2.
I thought so too. I thought so too. And the big thing for Sims 2 was the life stages. When they introduced the life stages. And now
Yeah,
you could, you know, raise a baby, have a toddler, have a child, teenager, young adult. And
yeah,
although young adults came later with u- university, the university
right.
one. I forget the name of it exactly. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, that game was, for the amount of time it was out, it was only out for 5
It
years
wasn't long.
before
Yeah, it
3 came
wasn't
out.
long. And then your whole family, it didn't have blocks. Like I was happy to see when Life and Death came out that they did add a couple more deaths for like children. I know that sounds glib, but I mean really, when you're just playing for
But it
fun,
happened.
yeah, it happens. So I like to that they added that, because in Sims 2, you absolutely could lose your whole family.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you could lose your whole family from a roach infestation. Like everybody catch the flu and die because you didn't get rid of roaches.
Uh-huh.
That happened one time to me.
I
More than
That
one.
happened to me too. I had a family with 3 girls, and all 3 girls died from the flu. And I sat there like, "What?"
What? Because you
Um,
had that moment. That's it, Jen.
it was
You
like
had that
1
moment where
drop.
you just sit there and stare at the screen like,
It was like 1 drop dead, 2 drop dead, 3. I'm like, "What?"
yeah, it
And
was like that a
immediately
day.
exit the game and try to bring them back, and, it was like, "No, don't die." It was
So
traumatic.
So yeah, I was like uninformed about cheats or anything. So I never played with any of those stuff. And then even after I learned about cheats and mods, I told you I only started playing with mods a few years ago.
Right,
And I never used cheats until a few years ago. And even now when I use cheats, it's like the key BB dot move objects on. I use MC Command Center to keep it on all the time to like show the debug items. I'm not using it to cheat like
right,
simoleons, or I don't
right.
use my UI cheats to cheat simoleons.
I'm going
So
to I'm going to admit that when, I learned the cheat mother load,
you were
I was guilty
like
of
my
that.
daughter. She was mother law.
Mother load, mother what? Exactly. And I admit that, yes, I did that to build nice houses and such.
Absolutely, because that was the only way to build one. You had to have
Exactly.
Cheetos.
Exactly. "Oh, I can't afford that?" "Yeah, I can, mother load."
I remember the first time I worked a sim up in the sim 2 to the top of a career, because even moving up the career ladder, some
Yeah.
people it was easier, it was not easier, because you
No.
had to not only have skills, you had to have a certain number of friends for each step of the career.
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember the first time I got a sim, I don't know if it was the business career, but the helicopter came to pick him up for work.
Mhm.
I was like, "We have arrived."
Yes. Yeah, that's the kind of feeling you got from that. You got a huge
Yeah.
payoff when you hit, and that's kind of like, I wanna tie that into the new businesses and hobbies pack for a second.
Yes,
That's what I'm hoping for with this pack in a way. I want a little, we talked about this on the previous live stream about making things a little bit more tougher on us. And
yes.
that's what I
We
want to see in this pack. Make it tougher on us to succeed. Don't make it so easy. Make it so that we're
yeah.
going to say, "Ah, crap, did I really fail?" Because that's the point of the game. I mean, remember what, like, well, when you hit certain levels in games and you fail at them, you're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh," and then but you keep doing it over and over again until you get it. That's
Yes,
what I
you
want to
do.
see. That more that game mentality, make it tougher to succeed. And I
Yeah,
hope that's the case here because running a business is not easy. I know that from experience. It is the
it's not.
toughest thing you will ever do with your life. It really, you become the toughest boss you've ever been.
Yeah,
And that's the kind of mentality I want to see in this pack. I want to
yeah,
see that entrepreneurship come through. I want to see that struggle come through. I want to be, give me your best shot kind of a thing. That's what I
yeah.
want to see in this pack overall.
You're right about running a business is very hard, and everybody can't do it. It's not for everybody.
No,
And
it's not.
so if that translates over, I will say, while I was watching Ocean Sims do her daycare, and part of it was probably the price point she had set too low, but she really struggled the first day of business. She made like 100, just over 100 simoleons, I think, but
That
she
sounds like
had
real
a
life.
ticket. Yeah, she had like a ticket price. So using the kiosk, she said like where you buy a ticket into it, but also she had a hourly rate set. And even at the end of the day, it had a breakdown. It had this is how much you made from ticket sales. This is how much you made from your hourly rate. Now, by day 3, she hired an employee. The employee's wages were more than she made. So she actually was in the hole from that
Oh,
for the third day alone. Now, overall, she was probably still in the positive, but She
Okay.
had to raise that price point, or because a couple more days of that, you're in the hole overall. So I thought it was
Wow.
very interesting. She hired her employee. She was able to set tasks to help the kids stay clean, to help like feed the kids or take care of them. And then on the business, she was able to set that she wanted her business to target under the target to target super like Sims that need supervision. From there, it gave a breakdown of infants, toddlers, or children, or you could select one, two, or all three. Very
Mm,
cool. Started with just infants and toddlers. Then by day 2 or 3, she added children to get more clients in. And that was the catch. She was in a clean save file. So there
mhm.
weren't a lot of children because it would pull them from all the worlds, but there
Right.
weren't a lot of them because she was in a new file. So she had some families she had pre-made that showed up, but she had to expand to children to get enough clients.
Wow. And that is something players have wanted for a long time. They've wanted to see the ability to have daycare centers. Well, be careful what you wish for. Now you can. And it sounds like Ocean had a heck of a struggle on
Yeah,
that particular game she was playing. That's that's what I want to see. I want to see
yeah,
things like that. Don't make it so easy. And it doesn't sound like
yeah.
it was easy. Another thing
No.
that we talked about is this is something that we said off camera the other day. We were talking on IG about the family recipes.
Yes, I can't wait. 'Cause I hope you can
I love
pass them
that.
down. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a family recipe, so I would think you could. Like, give me some Sims for businesses and hobbies combined gameplay with some grow together.
Yes.
I'm hoping you can put that recipe on a card or something and put it in that keepsake box too. Or
Great
just
idea.
click on the sim you like your child or niece or whoever that you want to pass the recipe down to. But it'd be nice to be able to put it in a keepsake box and pass the whole box down too. That
I would love that. That would be
I can't
great.
wait to see. Yeah,
I
I
hope
can't
we see.
see
Go
it.
ahead.
I was gonna say it's just so much potential with that. I like that you take the base recipe, then you can add like a special ingredient. It had like 3 steps.
Yes. And that's just a little touch added in to make it more enjoyable, something a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
I hope somebody in early access does that. So if you're watching and you have early access, please do that. We want to see that. Please do that tonight. We would really like to see that.
We would love to see it.
Yes.
It's it was so many details in the early access I was watching because once you went to set up your business, from the types of activities, like you said, it looks like the club system, but from all the different activities that you can do, the different combinations. Also, okay, this was something I learned. You had the preset businesses, which we saw in the gameplay
Right.
trailer. But under the one where you can make the custom business, you could save it as a preset. So if you later, like, say you were running from home and you said, "Hey, I want to go get a building and run my business," you don't have to reselect everything. You can just select your preset that you saved.
Right.
That
That's
was
great.
cool.
I like that. That makes it so
Mm-hmm.
much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they thought of these little things that are important to the player in this pack. So
Hmm.
for that reason, like I said on the previous live stream, it looks like it's going to be a solid hit,
Yeah.
but they got to keep those bugs and glitches in check.
Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah,
Because that would be the which is a big thing, but that would be the only thing. And we talked about this before. We know that games have bugs. They when they roll out, just
right,
because you can play test it, but different people play different ways. And that's one thing we always talk about with the Sims. I always ask people, how do you sim? And so when somebody comes along and plays a completely different way, they find new bugs.
right,
So it's just getting it fixed, like get it fixed timely. And you always say, don't roll out with game breaking bugs, which I haven't seen in early access, but I'm well aware that we don't get the same version that early access gets a lot of times.
Right. Right. And also the early
Mm.
access software isn't the final software. So
Mm-mm.
it's still evolving. They're still making changes to that code even up until release if they need to. So,
Yeah.
that's one of the purposes of them having that to basically spot these issues and let them know before it releases to the general public. And for that reason, that's smart on EA's behalf. And I like that they do it that way. But more or less, it looks pretty seamless. I haven't,
Hmm.
like you said, I haven't seen many. I haven't watched much today. Maybe watched a couple, but I
Me
haven't
too.
seen many issues overall.
Right. And it's
But
the same for me. I've watched a couple and it's been smooth sailing.
now, what I really want to see, I haven't watched it today. I'm probably going to watch it after the live stream. Is the classes? I want to see how those classes work. Now, one thing I think they did with the update that was really great is they gave people a little taste of how the classes work by introducing an upgrade to mentoring. So you
Okay.
can either mentor for free or you can mentor for a price.
Right.
Smart move on behalf of the Sims team there. What did you think about the mentoring update that was done? I know you did it on your live last night. How did you feel
Yeah.
that worked overall?
I was happy that they upgraded mentoring. Now I could not get my sim to make it happen. My sim was trying to mentor in gardening,
Okay.
and I couldn't get him to mentor the sim. I was trying to do it for pay, for a cost, and I invited several sims over just because I didn't know how the system worked. So once I selected, it would only let me not. I know you're only supposed to be mentoring the one sim, I guess, but it wouldn't let me pick from any of them. It was just the one person highlighted that I could pick. So I didn't know if that was based off of some trait they had or what, because I had like four Sims over, but I could only pick this one lady. It wouldn't let me pick one of the other people. But once I picked her, now she did come out to the tree. I noticed I had several plants that needed tending, but I could only do it from this tree. And I wondered if it was because it needed weeding specifically. But she went out there and it looked like she was taking notes and things, but neither one, like my sim wasn't moving. He wasn't like talking or moving. And you said you did mentoring for free. Did your sim
Right.
move when they were mentoring, and what were you mentoring in?
Yes, I was mentoring, Rowan was mentoring Sam in gemology.
Oh, okay.
So basically, she was standing there with a book and she's reading out of the book, and Sam was actually working at the table.
Okay. And she pulled the book out like herself to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
she pulled out the book,
Yeah.
Rowan did, and then Sam, her daughter, was at the table, actually, cutting the stone and making the jewelry.
Now, did you do it by just clicking on the gemology table to make her start mentoring? How did you trigger her to start mentoring her daughter?
I clicked on her, what did I do? I clicked on the gemology table because
Okay.
Rowan's already a 10 in gemology. So I clicked on the gemology table and I said mentor, and then it gave me people nearby, and Sam was the one in the list. So I think the way it works is that in order to mentor, it has to be someone that you have a good
Mm-hmm.
relationship with, or they can be random people too that you know. But again, you have to have some kind of relationship in order to get paid mentoring out of them.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
think the
And he,
class, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, when they were mentoring, was it like, you know how some actions you do have the green time loop that goes around the Sim's face? Was it a time frame, or they just did like on their own and then finished? How did it?
There wasn't a time based one. You could do it for as long as you wanted to. So the
Okay.
way I stopped the interaction was I just canceled it.
Okay, so you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe mine was working because I did see four Somalians come out of
Okay.
nowhere. But the only thing that I would have a complaint about is that because this was Jackson, Jackson was not moving during the interaction. Now, the other sim, the lady he was mentoring, she had a notepad. She was writing notes. She would do this. She was like, okay, like, oh, and
Okay.
he was just standing there like this. I said, "Baby, what kind of mentoring are you doing?" Because you know that
I
household
saw that.
already crazy. So I didn't know what was happening. But then I did eventually hit the X and I noticed $4. $4. So I wondered,
Okay.
I wonder at the time couldn't remember if I had that penny pixels trait still on in their house. I don't think I do because I was like, oh, somebody must have found $4, but it may have come from the mentoring because she was like doing her part. He just was teaching. I'm gonna say he was using telepathy to teach her gardening.
Well, whatever works.
So, but you know what? I haven't had a chance to try it on anything else. It came up randomly because I was just clicking for them to maintain their garden. And then, like I said, I clicked several plants that needed like the bug spray, watering, but there was one tree that needed weeding, and it was the only one that showed mentor in gardening. I was like, oh, and I wonder why it didn't show up on the plants that I clicked.
Let me see if I have a video clip of it. I might,
That'd be cool.
because yeah, I didn't want to make the last. I didn't want to make the last Hayden Rowan episode too long
Yeah.
because I really wanted to just show the burglar more so, as
Hmm.
well as wrap up the fourth episode with the time traveler. But
Right.
let me see if I got it. I'm pretty sure I might have.
Because I know that, but I really like the feature because I've always felt like I use mentoring quite a bit with my parents and their children. Because if you never have a pro tip in the Sims 4, guys, if you have a kid and you get the adult to mentor them in piano or any of the skills that were before, their skill will fly. I'm talking about
Oh
you can count, you can be like one, two, and that's how fast their skills, they're going from level two, three, four, and so it's so fast. So yeah, that's a pro tip in the sense where get your parents the mentoring trait, and then if they're level, if before they had to be level 10, but now they don't even have to be level 10, they have to be level 5 now. So that's great because I don't think as any person, parent or not, you don't have to be an expert like 100% level 10 to be able to teach people something about things. So I like that they took it down to a level 5.
I do too. It gives
Yeah.
you more choices. So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily starting at a 10. Now you can start as a 5. But how much mentoring can you do based on that skill level? And how
Yeah.
much will they learn? So it's almost like they're giving you a little taste of the pack.
Yeah. With the base game. Yeah.
And if you don't want the pack, then you do have this little extra thing that allows you to expand mentoring further.
Right. And I like that. So I know with Zane and Jackson, my live sim Zane, he was pretty much a gigolo. And we're hoping he's reformed. Now he did get
Yes, a
married
reformed
last night.
gigolo.
We'll see, because he's still non-committal, and yeah, we'll see. But he won't work. He does not want to work. His cousin Jackson is high maintenance and he will not work. So once I was trying to do the mentoring and gardening, they're both really good at gardening because they're on the simple living trait for the house is on the simple living. I'm like, man, I may be able to build him a greenhouse if he can borrow enough money. And then he could do gardening lessons once I get businesses and hobbies. I think I'm going to start them a small business and set the greenhouse as, for the public. And then they could do gardening, mentoring, and lectures because one's a
Oh,
7 and
wow.
one's a
Okay.
5. Yeah. So I know that's a business I'm gonna start gardening, a gardening business for Zane and Bougie Jackson.
That sounds
But
really great.
yeah, it's like whatever you could think of. When you said I'm gonna start a jewelry business, I'm like, oh, didn't think of that. And that's how it should be. It should be people coming up with, you said 2 million combinations
Up
of
to 2
business.
million combinations, they said on the live stream today. Yes.
That's We talked before when we saw the gameplay trailer, and we were talking about how it's like it's for simmers with imagination.
Yes.
It literally is, because with 2 million combinations, you could have a pottery movie theater. You could have you could
Yeah.
you could you could have a yoga gardening studio. You can just do whatever.
Oh, here's
And
one.
that, yeah.
Paint night with nectar.
Yeah, you can do a wine, a sip and paint. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you can do a sip
Sip
and
and
paint.
paint. Yes.
Didn't even think of that. But we know that that's a possibility. We know that you can teach people nectar making. We know that you can teach them painting. We know that you
Mm-hmm.
can charge by the hour to just come
Mm-hmm.
hang out. I love it. See, now my problem is I got too many business ideas and not enough sim and not enough hours in the day.
I think you're just going to disappear for the day with that.
I am. I am. I,
Well, I can't wait to see your live to see what you come up with. That's going to be so much fun.
yeah,
I
Amber's gonna do something unique.
Oh yeah, knowing Ember, she probably will.
And I'm gonna put my team. She's fine. I'm putting my youngest one down here with me and give him game playing privileges. He'll be happy. He's usually behind the screen playing. He's like happy. He's like, yes, mom's let me play my game. And I'm going crazy with Ember. And that's gonna be good because I don't have to wait to edit. We can just
Yep.
jump in, like everybody can come in together and we can really see how this thing works without staging, without, pre-recording. Like, let's
Yeah,
get to the nitty-gritty.
like now. We're
Yeah.
live, we're hanging out, we're just having a great conversation, talking about The Sims, talking about life, having a great time.
Yeah, I love it. One of my favorite things is talking the Sims with Jen, the GXSimmer. I said last night she's really the guru because she remembers things.
Thank
Now we
you.
both been playing since The Sims, or now they call it Sims One, but it was The Sims. And
Yes.
I forget half the things and I remember half the things. And you remember so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I feel the same way, you know, that you are so much fun to talk to in general, not just about The Sims, but about other things as well. And we always have a great time when we get together. And, we just laugh and, it's
Yeah.
just awesome to hang out Friday night with you and just go talk Sims and have a great time and have a great time with all of you too. So if
Yes.
you are in the chat, don't be shy. Feel free to ask us questions at any time. We are live. So we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have concerning The Sims, or if you want to supply feedback about your experiences with the update, let us know. Chat's live. Want to hear from you. All right.
Yes.
So next week you're going to do Ember, and Zane is going to have
A
his now
gardening
new life as a
business.
family man.
Yeah.
That's going to be very exciting. Can't wait to see that.
And I'm gonna see, because the only other thing he's really good at is like charisma and romance. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering what business you can use charisma, or I'm sure charisma will just help you in your business, because another thing I noticed is that your business has like a ranking. So the better it's doing, you get new ranks of your business. So like your business, I don't know what its star says, but then it moves up. It's like, okay, now you're a starter business, now you're whatever. You
Right.
have tiers for your business.
Just like
So just like real life.
you
And
start
I
out
can't wait to see the review system, because they said that your
at,
customers can leave reviews.
yeah.
Now, One interesting thing that I saw in the while the people were doing early access play, the couple I watched,
Okay.
you had like what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. Almost like a heckler. So it's like these people that will wander into your
Oh,
business. Yeah. Or like looky loos that start trouble. Like they'll come into your business. They don't want to
oh,
buy anything or a
wow.
service. They just start being like disruptive. That was interesting to me.
Whoa.
I had not heard, and that's probably something they would have talked about if they hadn't lost power
Yeah.
today. But I had not
Yeah,
seen it
definitely.
in the or noticed it. And now I bet if you go back and watch the gameplay trailer, it's probably a sim doing something where you like, yep, that's that sim. But yeah, with Urban X Simmer, the person came, they were just kind of creating a little chaos, just a little chaos. So I
She's great
guess
for
you have to,
chaos. She,
yeah, I think
she's so great for chaos. Jen from
she
Urban Sims.
is
She absolutely. I love her Let's
another Jen.
Plays. Yeah. Hey, we Jens, you know.
I know. Jens love the Sims.
Jens
But
love
yeah,
The
you
Sims. Yes.
you had to manage that customer. You had to manage them because they weren't a real customer. They weren't trying to buy anything. They just there to create some drama. That's
That's
it.
cool. I
So yeah,
I love that. That
I do
that's
too.
that's the quirkiness of The Sims. That's what
Yeah.
makes The Sims The Sims. These little things, these little, you know, problems, issues, weird curveballs they
Weirdness.
throw out. Yeah. Yeah. That's what makes it great.
You definitely get the weirdness in the Sims, and it's not the Sims without weirdness. So
No, it's definitely not The Sims without weirdness. No. And it wouldn't be.
and
It wouldn't be the
it
Sims.
wouldn't
Like
be.
we said this a while back. It wouldn't be The Sims anymore if it was.
It wouldn't.
You-
And another thing that they talked about before the stream cut out, right? They talked about that you definitely can work full time and have your small business on the side, which
Wow.
we figured that because I mean, technically now, from the get to work feature, you could have you like a little bakery or whatever, and you could have a full time job. But
Yes.
or you could be a landlord and have a full-time job. So I figured that. So that also confirms for me, they didn't say this, but it confirms for me that your elders can be retired and have a small business and it won't affect their pension. Because that was something that was important
Brilliant.
to me because I play all life stages. I know you do too. And
Yes.
so and then you can
Especially
have
since a couple of years down the road, I'm going to be an elder. So I don't make fun of elders.
me too, honey. Me too. So I play my elders.
Respect your elders,
We
guys.
look good. We look young.
Yes, we
We
do.
look young.
Yes, we do.
You know something side story that kills my daughter. If we are out and somebody be like, "Oh, is that your sister?" And I'm like, "Honey, I must be the older sister."
Oh my God.
And she's like an inch taller than me. So I'm like, and she'll be like, "Oh," she'll be like, "God, no." I'm like, "Ooh, don't." I be like, "Don't come for me, girl." But yeah, that's important. That is important to have a gameplay that your elders can do. And
Yes.
so this proves that you can give elders gameplay without isolating it to elders.
Yes.
Because what we found out today also before they went black is that you can have up to 3 small businesses in a household. So you can have 3 different Sims with small businesses. Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, you can have 3 different Sims in the household with a maximum of 3 small businesses.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm wondering, if you can. I know the kids can work for the business, so I'm wondering if they can start their own. Because it'd be so cool to have your kids selling like lemonade or candy, and the parent is doing whatever
Yeah.
massage business or another one, massage business or whatever.
Right. And the kid has the lemonade stand or a
Yeah.
cookie stand, like the cookies that the Girl Scouts sell.
Yeah, you could bake cookies and sell them, or you got Hayden and Rowan. Rowan can have her Crystal Creations, her jewelry business, and
Hmm.
Hayden can have a different business in the house. They can be named different things.
That's
I
true.
was like, oh wow, that's great.
The
You don't have to
archaeolog
work full time anymore in The Sims.
That's right. You don't have to work full time anymore in The Sims. You could do whatever you want to do, just like real life. You know, you could. There are a lot of people I knew that started businesses and had full time jobs. I was one of them, and you know, that's real life. That's
It
things that
is.
people really do. You know, and some businesses start out with running out of a garage, running out of an extra spare bedroom in your house.
Out of a
Like,
car. We don't have
yeah,
cars yet, but out of a car, yeah.
yeah. And then they expand to, you know, a bigger building and then an even bigger building on top of that. And before you know it, you
Yeah.
have an enterprise situation where you got a major corporation. So seeing that kind of expansion being reflected back into The Sims with this pack, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I love it. This I think that simmers that really enjoy the game are gonna really love this pack because you said it, like, the world looks great. It's
It
small, but
does.
it looks great. But I think this is not a pack that is about the size of the world, or, you know, even people were asking, like, where are the hobbies? And I said before, the hobbies are in your mind, they're your imagination. You have to have the imagination to create the business. They're giving you the tool to create that business. And so I think that there's going to be a wide array of simmers that really love this pack. And yeah, even talking about being an older simmer, playing for so long, yeah, you start to think about things differently in life. Like, you work, you want like
Mhm.
more financial security. You
Yep.
want to, like, I know you do, I do. I think about my retirement at this point in my
All the
life.
time. All the time.
Yeah. And to get there, what do? You like do multiple things. You like work a job, you have like a side hustle. Like,
You have
these
to.
are things we do in real life. You have to
You have
to
to. You have
to
to
be
save your
comfortable.
pennies and add more
Yeah.
pennies to them every time, and
Yeah.
there's you've got to do your part, and
Yeah.
these are real life struggles, and I like to see that reflected back in the
I
game. I like
love that.
yeah, being shown in the game. Give us that.
Yes.
Make it not so easy on us. I want That's what I really want to see. And going forward, now they're saying more and more the possibility of cars seems to be forthcoming this year.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing it. I will be surprised, but I have been hearing it. And I hear from people that are usually right about these things.
The only thing is, it, it's 10 years. It's 10 years later. Okay. But you know what?
It
If they
is.
give it to us, great.
Yeah,
But the thing
yeah,
that I want to see is, okay, you gave us this, but what else are you giving us for
yeah.
this? How did you expand this from the previous iterations? How did you make this different? How are you going to really show us that this is the best version of cars that have been released? Because that's what one of the things that I get on The Sims 4 about is that
Mhm.
this is the fourth iteration of the game.
Yeah,
Things should be better, not worse.
it should.
And for a brief time, and you know what I'm talking about, there was that
Mhm.
issue that I am going to be a little bit of devil's advocate, just so people just don't say, "Oh, here's another influencer blowing smoke up at the USA." No, one of the things I'm going to say right off is that there was a time where I think they did not have their stuff together. They did not have and I'm saying this is my own opinion,
Yeah, I agree.
not accusing EA of anything, because I don't know the inner workings of EA, and I don't know the inner
Right,
workings of Maxis, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Nobody does.
right, right.
But I personally, from my standpoint, believe that there was a time when they just did not have it together overall. And
Yeah,
it took a firm hand finally to say, this is what we're doing wrong. This is how we're going to correct it. And we're going to get back on course.
yeah.
Now, my expectation as a longtime player, 20 years, is that when you have a fourth iteration of this game, it needs to be better than all previous iterations.
Yeah.
And you need to make that happen. So, my personal feeling on new features coming forth that may have been in previous iterations, you've
Yeah.
got to do your best to show us the best versions of these
Yeah.
items that we've wanted to see for so long. And not only that, I want to see new and exciting things that haven't been thought of yet. I want to see
Yeah.
something totally different that we haven't been thinking of, that hasn't been
Yeah.
shown in any of the previous iterations, not even as part of a pack, just something that no one has ever thought of, and
Yeah.
then totally blindside us with it.
Ah, that would be great.
That that
That
that
would be
is
great.
my Sims dream, I guess you could say. That's what I would love to see. I want to see something and be like, "Whoa, what a great idea!"
Yeah.
We sort of got that with Life and Death.
Yeah. Um, I definitely, for me, definitely because, I avoid certain things I hear. And I know people have been talking about, oh, we want to play Grim, we want to be able to woohoo with Grim. And they gave you that, and it was
Mhm.
times 20. Like it was so much
Yeah.
more. Grim was the bottom of the barrel in that pack. The
Mhm.
everything else, everything. And I'm still getting surprised by that pack. Nelena had made it to the top of the Grim Reaper career, and that's when I found out she could actually heal objects that were broken, or that
Wild.
she could do a death's touch or a healing touch. I didn't know it until I got, and even if you watch other Simmers play, I didn't see people talking about it. And so it still surprises in that game. And
I still haven't played that yet. I haven't gotten through the Reaper career at all. And when I watch,
yeah.
I love watching your Twins of Death because I love seeing that gameplay come out. And you do it so expertly well with the story that
Oh,
you wove
thank
in as
you.
well. And it totally surprised me by what I saw. I was like, "I didn't know you could do that. Wow, that's amazing. I gotta try that." And I
And
will eventually.
right, right. But
Not as
that's the thing. Oh,
not
go
as a
ahead.
series per se, but maybe on my own as my for my own
Yeah.
personal game. But
Yeah.
that series really showcased that and showed how you can progress through those careers, both as the Undertaker and the Reaper. And that was brilliant
Yeah.
on your part.
And you know what else? Another pack that definitely has those elements is it wasn't as big as Life and Death, in my opinion, but Love Struck.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
even I was live last night and saw what I knew was a love struck interaction that I had not seen before. And I was like, why is he able to do this? And what you see in Love Struck is so many different interactions that are based on different levels of skills. So I think that
Yeah.
Zane was just my first sim that had the specific combination of skills that he had at the levels. And I got this interaction, and it was like, and also because he had completed certain aspirations and got these additional traits. And I
Okay.
think it opened up ways to like let someone down easy to it was stuff I had never seen in the game. I was like, why is he able to do this? But I knew it was coming from Love Struck. So that kind of
Wow.
thing, yeah, when you unlock things in packs because you're playing a different sim that's built a skill or aspiration that another one hasn't, so you see new interactions. I love it. You can never get, even in Sims 4, you can never see all the gameplay that's there. You can never
Right.
see. I watch only a Badong, and he does this 50 things series,
I
so it'll be
love
like,
his series
you
when he
love it.
does that. Yes. Yes, I do.
And it's never a repeat thing, and it's so many of them, right? He's got their ass up to hundreds, and he'll be like, "Did you know if you're a kid?" And some of them are so specific. If you're a child talking to a toddler, and you're over here, and you do this, then you can see this interaction. I love that about the Sims, but you're right. You have to do better. My comparison is like the graphics. The Sims 4 graphics outshines all the other Sims game
Absolutely.
graphics.
Absolutely.
And they needed to do that with the other features. And you're right, they have turned a corner where they have, at some point, it was noticeable, decided, you know what, we have, and they released a statement. We're
They
going to
did.
pay attention to you. We're
Yes.
going to fix these things. And like you said, I'm not on the inside of EA, but I do suspect something happened where you think we're going to roll on to the next game. And in house, you're talking about rolling on to the next game. And then you start to realize, you know what, it's not going to be practical to do that right now. It's going to take us more time than we thought. So let's go back to the game we have and let's get it right. Let's perfect it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautifully said there. You know, and they have. In my opinion, they've been extremely proactive with the updates and the
Mm-hmm.
fixes. They can't fix everything all at one time. You know, I think
Mm-mm.
that's what too many people expect out of them is that they want everything done now. Well, sorry. In the real world, that does not happen. But
It
they're
does.
doing as well as they can in
Mm-hmm.
the amount of time that they can with the budget and the people that they have on staff. So they are doing what they are able to do. But from what they're able to do, I applaud them on that because they are getting these fixes out. They are resolving them as quickly as possible. And they're trying to make the game better for all of us. So there is, you could see that they've turned the corner, like you said, with, I'm going to point out Life and Death. Life and Death,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, is probably the best pack out of the Sims 4 to date. You know, that is
Absolutely.
until Businesses and Hobbies comes out and may replace that. I have a feeling
Mhm.
that I may be giving this pack another grand slam.
I
It
think so
look,
too.
I really feel that way. But again, I've got to, go through it with a fine tooth comb and really say, is this pack a grand slam? Yes. Why is it? And but it does seem like it's leaning that way.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to point out something else. Not only are they fixing the bugs a group at a time for that have been in the game, but they also listened when Simmers kept saying we need more cross pack integration.
Right.
Because when you talk about life and death being a slam dunk, it is largely because of the cross pack integration, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you
Yes.
notice, like you said, businesses and hobbies isn't out yet for us, but you can see that they focused heavily again on cross-back integration because you were talking about the mentoring. And another thing that happened was they went back to the club system from Get Together and
Mhm.
added more clubs types and more activities you could do in the clubs.
Right.
So it's like in addition to focusing on cross pack for new packs, they're going back to old packs. They had to go back because they's like, hey, Get Together came out at this point. While we're using this club interface to
That's right.
make businesses, let's add some of the packs that came after Get Together so that you can have clubs focusing on those things. And that's
Right.
good business. That's
That
good
is
business
good
right there.
business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The pack integration is a big thing with Simmers. It's a big thing with me too. And one of the things I also want to do is a cat cafe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I
not
would,
surprised. I
I
can't
would,
wait. I need to see it.
I would love to do a cat cafe. You know,
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that at Ron's house since they have all those cats running around. You know, which I'm honestly thinking of having more cats, but that's for a surprise. Yes. But,
That would be
yeah,
perfect
the jewelry
because I
shop, you
think,
come in, the cats are running around.
yeah, and I don't have pets, but I think how it's going to be, I think it's going to be just like how you can set to have Sims that need supervision, like children, as your customer. I think you'll be able to set pets as your customers, like, and
Yeah,
then set people. And we know that in the club system, we know they added that to be like an activity in the club to like pet animals, like to pet cats and pet dogs. It's in the club
right.
system now.
It was in the interactions, we saw that.
Yeah. So you're gonna be able to have your cat cafe.
I cannot wait. That's gonna be a ton of fun. And
Yeah,
it'll be
it's
and can you imagine the amount of cats running around? Oy.
A fun nightmare. Fun
Yes, a fun nightmare.
Because your cats like to get into it too, Jen. They be all like, they do crazy stuff. Like, what is
My
that
cat
cat
almost
doing?
crashed the live stream when we were on last week. I was like, "Oh, please stay in that chair over there." I could see her looking over, like, "I want to sit on your lap." And she's just like sitting over in the chair looking at me the whole time like this. Like
That's what
sitting
one
up
of my
very
dogs has
proper.
been doing. See, one of my dogs has been for like 2 weeks. He's just staring at me. I'm like, why are you staring at me? So yeah, I have my door closed right now, not because of the kids, not because of that
Because of the
one
dog.
dog. He was in here messing with something earlier, so
Oh.
I had to shut him out, and I can see him. I can hear him breathing under the door. He's at the bottom of the door now, breathing. But it is nice to see that, even though, and you know what? That's why I don't have cats and dogs, because my dogs, I love them, but ooh, they drive me. There is like additional children in the house, and so I cannot play them in the game.
It can get stressful sometimes with cats and dogs, I will say that. But I love the veterinarian career that came with it.
Yeah, I like watching people play it, and I like, ooh, it almost makes me want to get it. But then I'll be like, no, my real dog will come and do something. I'll be like, nope. But I love that they put that in businesses and hobbies so that you can do your cat cafe, you can do other pets, like you might could throw a
Yeah.
gerbil in the corner for people to look at, or I
Yeah.
like that that's an option, and I like that you can grow your business. That is going to be
Yes.
great. So
Yes.
I can't, when I say, I'm literally, since I saw the trailer, I'll have an idea pop up for a business. I just write it down, and I got this list of like 20 something businesses that I want to start. And now that you
Wow.
and you come on today saying, oh, like it's more than you thought, KT. It's 2 million combinations. Like,
Mhm.
I want to have the weirdest business you can think of. Like the weirdest combination. These things don't go together in any kind of way. I want to I gotta go back to the drawing board for my girl Ember. I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah.
you. Yeah. And I mean, I want people to watch and be like, now, how, like, who would come up with that? And be like, KT, she's crazy.
But that's fun,
So,
and, it makes people laugh, and you have a great time with it, and
yeah,
I
it's
that
fun, but
that's gonna be so much fun. Oh my god. I know I keep saying
but
that's gonna be so much fun, but it will be.
it
It
will
will
be.
be.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun. And that's why I send them for it. I said in my intro, like, if you like a good story and you like to have fun,
Yep.
this is the place to be.
Absolutely.
But I got
Absolutely.
some more traditional lines. Like, I put a poll out asking people to vote for the next Let's Play. They voted for a story about a single father. It was
Yeah.
so close that I'm gonna do the teen raising the siblings as well at some point soon, as soon as the next series ends. But my
Both
single
great
father,
storylines.
yeah, my single father, he is going to be in a place. He was married. He's going to be in a place where he has to reevaluate a lot of things in life. And I want him to figure that out. And that's going to include career, because sometimes in life, these things happen, like different things happen in life that you cannot control.
Mhm.
But what you can control after is your reaction, your response to it to some degree. And sometimes, as an older simmer, and I'm sure Jen, there are times you have to regroup in life.
You
You know,
do. You
you
do.
make a plan, and you feel like things are going one way, and then boom,
Oh,
something else,
yeah.
something external happens, whatever.
Oh,
And
yeah. I
you
know
know,
that.
yeah, and as an adult, we don't have the luxury. Like, you have the right to feel how you feel about it, right? But then
Right.
we have to regroup quickly, right? Because we still got responsibilities as adults. So we
Exactly.
have to say, okay, I've or life and death. I've grieved this event, and now I have to jump back on this horse and start back up. Like I got to do something different now,
Yeah,
and I got to do it quickly. And my
it's
single
great.
father is gonna be in that position, so I want him to have a business that he starts for sure. I know that he's gonna do that.
That's gonna be a great
So
storyline. That's gonna be really cool.
yeah, so you keep saying it's fun. I keep saying I'm excited, and it's just the truth. Like you said, realistically, we know that The Sims has had problems in the past,
Right.
and just to be clear, any game can have bugs. They almost all do. Just it can't be your words, a game breaking bug, and you have to address it quickly. And that
Yes.
is the thing. I am a gamer. Sims is my favorite, but I definitely play other games. And that's the thing. Even Nintendo, like we're Nintendo junkies over here. And
Mhm.
so they'll roll out a new game, it'll have an issue, but what they'll do is send a patch through a digital update, you
Right.
know? So you get that update and you're rolling. And you're right, you need those challenges because we can even be playing some Marios and be stuck in a world for a couple days. So you need the challenges.
Mhm.
I don't want everything hard in my Sims, but some things I do want to work for. So
Yes. And
with the
also modders are gonna love this pack. I know
oh,
that. Modders are gonna have some just go crazy.
they
I said
are.
I said this in the last stream too, but I can really see the wheels turning on certain modders that I've been speaking with. Uh, Not naming any names in particular, but I know of a
Yeah.
few. You probably know who I'm talking about because I've mentioned it a few times uh, off camera. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of good ideas coming out
Yeah.
from
My
those.
career modders, a lot of them, but especially those career modders that create careers a lot.
Mhm.
We know some modders really specialize in like making get to work type careers where they build
Like,
everything out really extensive. Um, I
yeah,
can see them just running wild, just running wild with it.
a modded career I really like a lot is from
Mhm.
Maple Bell, and that's the accountant career.
I never played that one, but I love Maple Bill.
It is
Uh-huh.
it's really good the way she does it. It's really good. And I played it a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
I really liked it a lot. It was really, really immersive. Did a great
Yeah,
job on it. And
I can imagine.
that's a career I'd love to see in The Sims, an accountant, a dentist. Bring a dentist in. Sims have
Oh,
teeth. Do something with the teeth. What if you get a
yeah.
cavity? You need to go to the dentist.
You
Or
know, if
a root canal or an extraction, or maybe you need false teeth when you get to be older.
you know what? I would love to see a dentist career, but I bet you if they were working on one, it's probably on hold after Grow Together. Do you remember one of the bugs it did have? And I love Grow Together.
Oh,
You remember when the
yeah.
kid would pull the tooth and
Uh-huh.
it would change
Distortion.
the whole they had to
Yes.
disable the feature for like a couple. It took, and they got on it immediately. But you remember, it took them a couple months to fix it, to get it back. Where
I
like it took longer than other bugs to fix. I think they had trouble
Wow.
with that visual of the teeth gone and back. Yeah, it works now, and that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite packs. That is my favorite pack, I think. But
Growing
yeah,
to Up until Life and Death came out, Growing Together was my favorite pack as well.
yeah,
But I just love Life and Death. You know,
yeah.
I love having funerals for my
I
Sims.
do too.
It's so
It sounds so
sad.
weird.
It does. It sounds morbid, but you know what?
It's true.
It's so sad when it happens. It's like, oh, but you know what? From the storytelling standpoint, I love it.
Because it's a part of life. If you live, you die.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
And we
in
all
real
have to deal with
life,
it.
okay, so that's another one. We were talking about life and death and how extensive it was. So when I was live last night, several Sims met a mishap at the spa. Um, it was not my fault.
Oh, just a few.
maybe it was my fault because I put the spy in that world. There were urns everywhere, but
Let's see if
you
we can
know,
pull up. Would you like me to pull up that
yeah,
scene?
yeah, it was crazy. But what I noticed was now I've had other
Where is it?
Sims when Grim shows up, there are definitely new options with Sims that die. Like at first I noticed that you could cry, you could like weep like hysterically, you
Mm-hmm.
could be what is it called? Like you're in denial. It was like that kind of thing. But Zane, it must have been something in his skill set. He had like 10 options, and I had never seen that many options for how to react when the sim dies. And I was like, why does he have so many options? He had an option to do a stoic look on his face, and I did that one and zoomed in on him. I had never had a sim with that many options to react to a sim's death. Never. So I didn't know if it was his charisma or one of the traits he's acquired from all of his aspirations he's completed. But yeah, we had a little look, y'all. If y'all haven't been over to Just Among Us Sims, we have mishaps sometimes in our gameplay. we we have just this much chaos, just a tiny bit.
I think I got it.
I think Jen jinxed me because one sim died and she was like, "Oh, I think somebody else is about to die." And then we went back up like, "Oh no, they're good." And
Okay,
then like
here
2
we
minutes
go.
later, it was crazy.
Here we go. I got it.
Okay. But yeah, just the fact that I had never seen those options was crazy. Yeah, I was like, what is happening? And they could literally just go back inside and they decided not to. But we keep uncovering things with life and death. Like we keep uncovering new things. And it's stuff that it always surprises me.
When
I
that
did not
happened,
know.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh my God, they're all gonna die!"
Yeah, this guy right
Now
here
there's your
behind.
clue right here. There's your clue right here in the corner. That blue guy right there,
Yeah, it took me a minute to notice him because I was like, what is happening?
right about
I,
here.
oh, we had like 5 Sims die. They were
There's
just
one right here. There
yes.
we go.
was I was like, why won't they go in? Why won't they
Oh,
take
there's
those?
one.
Like what? They were just falling.
There's two.
But I think
There's three,
I think
four.
I'm gonna it's just I was like, why? But I think I'm gonna click soon, and the options
Oh
they
God.
had to grieve them. I had never seen that many. I had only seen like 4 or 5 before, and I didn't know what about him made him have these additional options. And he's bad, so they were still flirting over the deceased sim. So forgive my gameplay there. They were kissing over the deceased sims. That's when I we couldn't get to Grim
Yep,
anyway.
it's
So
romantic.
yeah, it's like that's just romantic in Sims for Life and Death, right? But yeah, at some point we realized like this is not what we should be doing. But I'm hoping it goes on to the part so where I click on the sim because I'm curious to see, Jen, have you ever had that many choices before
No, I was
or
surprised by that
do?
too. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
had
what is
never.
I said, is that a mod or is that the game?
No, it's not a mod, it's the game. And I have no idea what, made him able to do that. I've not had any other sim. I've definitely had other charismatic sims, but he's definitely completed aspirations that other sims have not. I'm more of a family game player, so I haven't had many serial romantics or
And
any
also
of those things.
and
And so
also
yeah.
that pop up where it said, "What are you doing?" I've never seen
Yeah.
that either. And was that Love Struck or was that a
I
mod?
don't That may have been a mod because I definitely had a kiss that I had added from a mod. So I think that kiss, that mod may have made that pop-up happen with that specific kiss. But I had not seen those. But I think that I'm 80% sure that was a mod, but I'm 100% sure those death options was life and death. Cause I was like, why is he so like the sim is like y'all romancing and there's dead Sims everywhere. He's like, what is wrong with y'all? He's like, what is your problem, people? And he's right. He's absolutely right. He's like, why is everyone look at the Sims in the background? They're all like crying. I didn't even notice them last night.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, everybody's gone here.
I think it's coming up right about here.
Yeah, I
think you
think so.
clicked on
Cause
one of the urns or something, and then it popped up.
yeah, one of the bodies or urn or something. Cause I think one of the bodies because I was like, we were so focused on trying to get a wife. We were like, we gotta get a wife because I think we went and called her. We went and called her and then came back because we were like, we cannot lose her. Zane's got to get married before he changes his mind. But the fact that they had that in Life and Death, and I've been playing a whole series
Yeah,
surrounding
right
it.
here.
Yeah, and hadn't even noticed. And that's the kind of gameplay I like. And another thing that I think is a good tip for, people, if you feel like you don't have fun playing The Sims anymore, don't focus on just one pack unless you only have one pack. But if you got more than one pack, don't get so caught up in this is the new pack that I'm only going to play features from it. Mix all your stuff together. It keeps the game fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know you
It's
do, Jen. I know
I,
you play everything.
it's important to mix it up because
Hmm.
that way you get to test out all of the features. If you stay on one thing all the time, you know,
You get
yeah,
bored.
you're going to get bored quickly. But when you
Yeah.
discover something that you haven't played with in a while, you're going to have a totally
Yeah.
different experience from what you've been playing with, especially if you're a legacy player, because I think a lot of legacy players go along the same route. I
Yeah.
mean, look at Nina and Amanda. That's actually based on my real gameplay. You have
Yeah.
Nina, you have Amanda as the vet. Amanda's father was the vet. The
Yeah.
grandmother was the vet, and now Carrie is a
Everybody's
vet,
the vet. Yeah.
although a different
Yeah.
kind of vet. If that certain mod that I've been talking about is
Yeah.
coming out, which I will have more to say maybe later on. I'd say about another 2 months, we may be talking about it a little bit more.
Oh, okay. That'll be
But
cool.
yeah, I would really I hope that happens because just
Yeah.
to be able to utilize those features in S3 would be terrific.
Great.
I would
Great.
really like because in a way I did get her to become a horse vet, or trained to be a horse vet in
Okay.
my gameplay.
Yeah.
But the way I did it was kind of like, oh, let's pretend this happened, kind of a thing, or let's give them this treat, or let's go ahead and help birth this little foal. But
Yeah.
going a step further with an actual mod that's designed for that,
It's gonna be great.
yeah, yeah,
And you said something there because that's how I play a lot. I'll be pretending like it's a game, it's to pretend. So, like you said, when you can't get a mod, or in this case, when the Sims makes some of that where you don't have to pretend it, you still have to use your imagination, but you don't have to pretend it. It's
right.
always a plus, but it never stops me. If it's not there, I'm gonna make it be there in my mind. I'm
Also,
gonna make it be there.
did we miss that part?
I don't know, or I think it may fast forward to see if they go back up. But
Let's see.
yeah, if they go back up, no.
Well, actually,
But
looks like yeah. Well,
or
look at this
it
collection of
may have
graves.
been before.
How many do you have there? You've got
4 or 5, is it? Yeah, I gotta see, cause
We got
Oh,
okay.
I was all over the
Keep forgetting. I can
floating.
do this. Wait a
I think
minute.
we got 4.
I keep forgetting. I could do.
Oh, yeah. I think we got 4 graves there. And they all died while we were having dates at the spa. That's why we could never finish our day. We finally were like, we better finish this date at home. It was Christmas Eve too on this.
That is
They went
funny.
back
Oh
to
my
his place
God.
to celebrate Christmas, or as the Sims say, Winterfest. They went
Right.
back to his place to celebrate Winterfest, but this was Winterfest Eve, and that makes it even more sad. All these Sims froze to death on
There we go.
Winterfest Eve.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're
4.
right. 4.
I got 4 graves. It was so ridiculous. And they all died that day. It's just and
Was it before
one of them was
Italy?
the husband of one of the women that he broke up her marriage.
Oh
And
no.
Sulani, he had broke up this woman's marriage in Sulani, and she was pregnant with their second baby. One of them was her husband. It's like, and you
Oh
know what? I
my
think it
God.
was before, because I think that's the one he could do all those different grief interactions, because he had befriended him a little bit before he took his wife. And that's another tip. If you're bored, play something outside of your norm. I'm admittedly a family game player, but I did this whole live with Zane with a broken heart, and he was like the massive player. Like a massive player. He's single. He was running the streets. He was breaking up homes. I like families, and I like sweet, cute families, but I can't play that all the time or I will be bored. So you got to mix your gameplay up. And I think that businesses and hobbies is going to let us mix our gameplay up even more, like a lot.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. I think it is going to be really terrific.
Yeah.
And we'll find out on the 6th when it comes out. And of course, there is early access, so be sure to watch your favorite Sims YouTuber, whoever that may be, to see some of the early access from the EA Creator Network. Okay, so I can see by the clock. Wow, can you believe almost an hour and a half has gone by?
It always goes fast when we talk.
It always goes by fast when we talk. So let's do our final thoughts right now. Final thoughts about the update this week and business and hobbies. What do you think?
I thought the update was great. I think it did a lot of fan service and gave us some fun gameplay and objects for especially for us that's been around a long time to remember. And businesses and hobbies, I just can't wait for it because I think it's going to expand the game as far as our imaginations can reach, as far as starting those different unique businesses and hobbies.
Well said. Couldn't have said it better. And of course, it comes out on March the 6th. Let us know what your experiences are. What are you looking forward to the most? Put it down in the comments or, stop by our next live stream. KT, as always, it was awesome. Gotta go over here. Awesome seeing you. And of course, if you want to leave off with your tagline, go for it.
Well, thank you, Jen, for inviting me. And until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye bye. And